In this video, we're going to discuss the symbol control and specifically the symbol behavior that is available for any symbol in the symbol set. And you can see here I'm starting off with our water treatment demonstration page just to illustrate how many symbols we can actually use on this page and what some of them will look like. And so you can see here we've got a tank, and we've got a tank cutaway, which is this triangular area that's showing progress. We've got similar progress being shown here on these other tanks, but every pipe, every corner of a pipe, all of these valves are symbols, the tanks, and the idea behind a symbol is that you can configure them to rely upon input, and as the input changes, the symbol's behavior can change to reflect a particular warning condition or error condition or some kind of progress, as we've seen here. And that's kind of why we consider symbols to be intelligent. They respond to input and can adjust their behavior to reflect those conditions. I'm going to exit run mode here, and we're going to start our walkthrough by using a blank page and just the placeholder symbol. So I've clicked on new page, and I'm now going to add a symbol control to my worksheet, and I'll just zoom in a little bit on that guy. So this symbol is the default placeholder that is placed on the canvas whenever you insert a symbol, and the symbol itself, this placeholder, can actually be used to demonstrate some of the behavior with regard to rotation and those kinds of things. So I'm going to continue to use this placeholder just for a little bit as I walk through the properties, and I'm going to start by looking at the aesthetics, and you'll notice that the aesthetics allows me to change things like the base color of the symbol, or accent colors, etc. Glassiness is kind of an interesting one. You'll notice that right now the symbol seems to have almost a little bit of a sheen or a shine to it, and as I change the glassiness from 1 all the way down to, say, flat or no glassiness, the base color actually shines right through. So you can actually think of the glassiness as almost a reflective layer on top of the symbol that provides some kind of a shine. The symbols also support progress, and you'll notice that right now this symbol placeholder is suggesting that it doesn't support progress, and this is a key point with symbol behavior. While the symbol control supports all the same properties regardless of which specific symbol is selected, the symbol you do select may or may not support some of the behavior. So you can see that progress value and showing progress is not supported for this symbol, whereas if I were to look, for example, at the blink behavior, you'll notice that this does seem to support that behavior, and I can actually override the blink state and indicate that this symbol is blinking. And I can do something similar with, say, rotation. So let me just go down to those properties, and you can see again I'm going to override the rotation state and indicate that the symbol should rotate. So there's a couple different things when it comes to setting up the configuration of the symbol. You'll notice that I needed to, in both the blink case and the rotation case, turn on this checkbox that says override rotation state. Without that on, you'll see that the symbol doesn't actually rotate. And that's because symbols are specifically designed to rely upon input from either a hard-coded value, which is unlikely, or more likely from a real-time data point from the Cogent Data Hub. And based upon that input or condition, it will then select from among 5 different states to determine whether the symbol should rotate and blink and what behaviors it should have. So by clicking override rotation state, what it's really doing is saying just ignore the current input, ignore the state condition, and just make this thing blink or rotate, etc. And in this video we're going to start by actually talking about the behavior and the behavioral differences by relying upon the override mechanism. In a subsequent video, we'll talk more about how to configure the symbol to use the input condition. Okay, I've just fast forwarded a little here, and you'll notice that I've added two checkboxes to my canvas. One that's going to control the blink behavior and one that's going to control the rotate behavior. And I've still got my symbol here. I just want to point out as well that the symbols have a base color as well as some accent colors, but they also have a condition color. And the condition color in effect goes on top of any other attributes. You'll notice if I override the condition color and indicate that this symbol is red, that's going to go on top of whatever the base color is. So the base color is not supposed to be used for the condition situation. It's really just the base color when the condition color is transparent. So as I continue here, I am going to override the condition color, and I'm going to choose a condition color of, let's do green. Nice bright green so we can see that all is well. And I'm also going to override some of the other behaviors. I'm going to override the blink state, but rather than indicating whether this control should be blinking or not by choosing that checkbox, I'm going to instead bind to, using simple binding, bind to, let's get rid of that. I'm going to bind to the value, oops, missed it. I'm going to bind to, let's try that again, bind to the value of this checkbox. And I'm going to do the same thing with the rotation behavior. I'm going to override the rotation state. I'm going to choose simple binding, and I'm going to bind to the value of that checkbox. So if this is working correctly, when I go into run mode, what I should see is that as I click the blink checkbox, the symbol of course starts blinking, and as I click rotate, there it goes, it starts rotating, and of course I can use both of those at the same time. I'll just exit there from design mode, back to design mode. I have shown you previously, I think, that the default placeholder symbol, just collapse some of those properties here, does not support showing progress. But again, please remember the properties actually do exist for every symbol control, but they may or may not be implemented by that particular symbol. So what I can actually do here is set these properties now, and then as we subsequently change the symbol, if we happen to choose one, like a tank cutaway that supports progress, these values should automatically be reflected on that symbol. And I'm going to use a data point binding here to reflect progress. I'm going to bind to PV. And of course you can see that the progress value is being updated, but of course because this particular symbol doesn't display that progress, you're not going to see anything on the screen. So let's see what happens when I actually create separate instances of this control. So I'm going to just grab these controls here, and I'll move them up and a little bit more to the corner. And I now want to create copies of this symbol. So I'm going to choose copy, and let me paste a few. Oops, I must have missed the copy here. Let's try that again. Copy, and I'm going to paste a few different instances. I'll do Control-Shift-V the next couple times here, and let me just move those around my screen a little bit. There we go. So I've got 4 different symbols on my screen, and of course I'm using the placeholder for all of them right now, but let's change that behavior. So I'm going to start by selecting this second symbol here, and now we're going to alter the properties under the symbol selection category. And I'm going to start by noticing that there are 2 different symbol sets available, or that ship with DataHub WebView. The symbol factory symbol set, which is the default, contains over 4,000 symbols. The Cogent symbols symbol set contains just a few that we've added to handle basic shapes and other notification. And so you'll see that, for example, I can use the notification category and the shining light, and this is actually a symbol version of the control that we've been using previously. So yes, we can use the shining light control itself, but there's also a variation of that is actually a custom symbol that responds to input condition and override conditions and all those kinds of things. For this third symbol down here, I'm going to use the symbol factory symbol set, and I'm going to look for the category called pumps, and I'm going to choose the cool pump, which looks pretty cool. And then for the final symbol, I'm going to choose the tank cutaways category, and I will choose the triangular cutaway. And you can see immediately, now that we've chosen a symbol that does support progress, that progress is being displayed immediately. So again, as we go into run mode here, you'll notice that as we turn on blink behavior, all of the symbols blink, but you'll notice they do so differently. In the case of the placeholder, it's the outside oval that's blinking. In the case of the cool pump and the tank cutaway, it's the entire symbol. If we look at rotate, you'll see that the only symbol that supports rotation behavior is the placeholder. And if we go back to the blink again just for a second, you'll notice that I forgot to point out that in the case of the flashing light, the shining light, blink behavior is again very different. It actually is making the light kind of flash in and flash out. So the point is to understand that the specifics of the behavior are actually implemented by the selected symbol, not by the symbol control. This ability to customize the symbols means that it really is easy for a third party or for a customer to design custom symbols that meet their specific business needs. So what I'm going to do here is remember that right now I'm actually looking at my cloud demonstration server, but I've also got, let me just jump to a different web page here. I also have the same sort of page set up running off of localhost right now. And on this particular page, let me just create another copy here of this symbol. On this demonstration server, you'll notice that I have a third symbol set, in particular custom symbols. And so I want to show you how I have created just one other symbol for the purpose of this demonstration. So I'm going to pop over here to the Cogent Data Hub properties window, and you'll notice that the localhost server is running off of this address. So I'm just going to copy that address, and I'm going to jump to Internet Explorer, to Windows Explorer. Just minimize that, and I'm going to navigate to that address. And I got two instances there, sorry about that. Let's try that again. And you'll notice that I am looking at the files that are on my web server, running my web server. And you may have been here before, but you'll notice that the HTML is the root of the web server, and then inside that directory I have a Silverlight folder that really contains all of the different controls and pages and symbols and all of the things necessary to run Data Hub WebView. And within the symbols folder, you'll notice that I have a Cogent version 1.0 folder, a symbol factory folder, as well as the custom symbols. And each of these folders contain all of the different symbols that are available within that symbol set. So as I choose symbol factory 1.0, I should see, not sure why it's a bit slow there, but I should see all of the XAML that is available for all of the symbols, and they're grouped by category. Well, if I jump over here to custom symbols, you'll see that I have, there we go. You'll see that I have a XAML file for custom pumps, as well as a symbol map. And I'm going to select both of those files and open them inside Notepad++. So let me just jump to that for a second. In order to create a custom symbol, you need the XAML, the application markup language that designs the symbol. You also need a symbol map, and we'll talk about that one in a second. So here is a copy of the cool pump, but I've modified it to provide a little bit of extra behavior. And the purpose of this demonstration is not to explain XAML. There's plenty of references online if you want to learn Microsoft XAML. You can also use, of course, Expression Blend to build your XAML. The point of this demonstration is to illustrate how we can annotate the XAML to tie back into WebView. And so you can see here that what I've got is a canvas, and it's the main canvas, and I have a background on the canvas which is using a gradient brush. And right now the gradient brush is actually just a transparent brush. But I've also tied my progress color into this gradient. And so you can see here that what I'm doing is using an attached property inside .NET that relies upon this namespace, WV, which is our pointer to the Data Hub WebView symbol assembly. And I'm indicating that the progress color, when set, should manipulate the color of the 0 gradient stop and the 1 gradient stop. And so these two properties basically refer to the 0 and the 1 gradient stop colors, which are both transparent. Similarly, as the progress percentage changes, what I want WebView to do is to automatically target the offset, which is this value here and this value here, of this linear gradient brush. And so in effect what happens is, as the progress color and the progress percentage target property change, the color of the gradient brush and the offset change. And so in effect that has an appearance of an area that's going up or down. Similarly, you'll notice that I have a polygon here, and this polygon is referring to part of the cool pump. And you'll notice that what I've done here is indicate that blink behavior should target the opacity of this polygon, and the blink color should again target in effect the fill color of this polygon. And I've done something similar down below here with rotation. There's an ellipse as part of the cool pump, and you can see that I've in effect attached rotation behavior to this ellipse. And I'm not going to go further with this discussion of XAML. There is another video that goes into much more detail on how to build a custom symbol. In order to get that symbol recognized by Data Hub WebView, I also need a symbol map. And the symbol map is really just a dictionary of all of the different symbols in a symbol set and where those files are implemented. So you can see that this symbol map is referencing a symbol set known as custom symbols. We can specify manufacturer, copyright, license information, and we can also specify a symbol set version. And then within that, we can create a list of symbols. And so there's actually only one symbol in this symbol set. The name is the cool pump. The file name is custompumps.xaml, and the style is cool pump style. And so this file name here, you'll notice, custompumps.xaml, is actually referring to this file, custompumps.xaml. And similarly, the cool pump style is basically specified up here with a reference to the cool pump style, and then a reference to the target type and the template, cool pump template, that is being used in this style. And so you can see that this is part of the cool pump template. So I'm going to minimize that view. I'm not using that for anything. We've already got those symbols in there. And the net effect is that when I return here to my my page and I choose the custom wrong symbol set, and I choose the custom symbol set, and then specifically pumps and the cool pump, you'll notice that this is slightly different than the other cool pump that we had in there. You can see that the ellipse, the inner part of the cool pump, has a bit of a gradient on it. You can see that my progress is in fact going up and down as part of the canvas, and when I choose my blink behavior, you can see that I have attached the blink behavior only to the legs of the cool pump, and the rotation behavior is altering the rotation of that ellipse. So I can get some very interesting effects with my control by just creating a custom symbol, which is really nothing more than attaching DataHub WebView properties to the XAML. The final thing that I just want to highlight before we leave our discussion of symbol behavior is the identification information associated with each symbol. So let me just go back and choose this first cool pump, the normal cool pump here, and you'll notice that it has obviously a symbol name, but the most important piece of information for this symbol is the symbol ID, and you can see it's got a unique number here, 269-78524, and that number is used to uniquely identify a symbol within a symbol set. And the combination of symbol set, symbol ID, and version is enough to determine what XAML to actually render. As new versions of symbols are introduced, so for example, if Software Toolbox releases version 2 of their symbols, then DataHub WebView can automatically accommodate the new version of those symbols. You'll notice that there is a property here that says auto upgrade to newer version, and so if you open this page and DataHub WebView detects that there is a newer version of the symbol, it will automatically upgrade to that symbol. So this is a really nice feature because it means that you can have a lot of saved pages in your enterprise, and as you upgrade to the next version of DataHub WebView, which may have an upgraded version of symbol sets, those symbols will automatically be upgraded. You can control the default behavior of this checkbox here by selecting one of the options that's available for symbols. Down here at the bottom of the page, you can see under the symbols category, auto version upgrade is automatically enabled. So in this video, we've discussed some of the basic behaviors for symbols: blinking, rotation, progress, and the condition color. We've also, at a very high level, discussed how you can create a custom symbol and include it on the web server.